Welcome to my annual review of the most physically beautiful books published in 2018, with the aim of helping you to find gorgeous gifts for your nearest and dearest, or even better, take an opportunity to treat yourself during the holiday season. Let's start with picture books. In Dragon Post, Alex finds a dragon living in a cupboard under the stairs, so he writes letters to lots of different people to ask for advice on taking care of his surprise visitor. This book incorporates 5 fun removable letters. Next, we have Once Upon a Wild Wood, an inventive fairy tale mashup about the adventures of Little Green Rain Cape, which features a die-cut cover and richly detailed drawings by the masterful Chris Riddell. Dinara Murtalapova's Pop-in fairy tales are a collection of fairy tales, classic tales, with a really interesting style of cut-out illustration. The Ink House is an artist's mysterious mansion built on a magical pool of ink that inspires creativity in anyone who lives there. When the artist goes adventuring, animals great and small arrive for the annual Ink House extravaganza, beautifully illustrated. Following on from last year, Sort of Books has released their final 4 special collector's editions of the original Moomin books, which feature the original 50s and 60s cover artwork, lovely end papers, and cute hidden covers. These are delightful little books, very affordable. This collection is a limited release of special 10th anniversary editions of some of David Walliams' best-selling humorous children's books, with coloured illustrations. They feature metallic dust jackets, special hidden covers, ribbon bookmarks, and sewn bindings. First published in 1964, Mary Poppins has been delighting readers ever since. This lovely edition is prolifically illustrated with Lauren Child's fun signature mixed media images. It features full-page spreads and inventive font designs. Wondersmith is the second book in the Trials of Morrigan Crow. The UK edition has a gorgeous hidden illustration under the cover, sprinkled with gold, and pretty illustrated chapter headings. Other country editions have illustrated end papers, with some also having a small illustration on the boards under the dust jacket. In this modern-day homage to Narnia, 4 children step through a mysterious library door to discover the magical world of Folio, where an enchanted kingdom of fairy knights, bears and tree gods is under threat from a sinister robot army. Features decorative chapter headings and a hidden cover under the dust jacket. Since her mother's disappearance, 11-year-old Tilly has found comfort in stories at Pages & Co., her grandparents' bookshop. But suddenly, her favourite characters, Anne of Green Gables and Alice from Wonderland, wander into the shop, and Tilly's adventures begin. Features a hidden cover under the dust jacket and black and white internal illustrations. It's particularly lovely for anyone familiar with classic children's literature. An imaginative middle-grade novel about a train that travels through impossible places, a boy trapped in a snow globe, and a girl who's about to go on an unbelievable adventure. This features a hidden cover as well, and also some internal illustrations. Twice Magic is the second volume in the Wizards of Once series. Wish is in possession of a powerful magic spelling book. Tsar has a dangerous witch state on his hand. Together they can save the Wildwoods from the curse of the witches, but they're separated by the highest wall imaginable. This is full of really delightful illustrations. Writer-illustrator Judith Rossell has just released the final book in her magical Stella Montgomery series. These delightful historical fiction books feature young orphan Stella and her dreadful aunts, good for fans of Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. In the Australian editions, each book is printed in a different coloured ink and contained lovely illustrations as well. Elfin historian Brangwain Spurge and the goblin archivist Werfel are trying to survive being catapulted across the mountains into goblin territory to deliver a priceless peace offering to the mysterious Dark Lord and spy on the Goblin Kingdom. This is a witty mixed media book with the illustrations showing Brangwain's furtive missives back to the Elf Kingdom, while Werfel's written narrative tells an entirely different story. This is a delightful feminist retelling of the 12 Dancing Princess fairy tale. Features a hidden cover under the dust jacket and gorgeous illustrations. This year also saw 2 more books in MinaLima's gorgeous children's classics series with Harper Design: Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid and The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I have a separate video going through this series in detail. The Murderer's Ape is the story of Sally Jones, ape and gifted engineer, with detailed black and white illustrations throughout the text. And The Legend of Sally Jones, released this year, is a colour prequel graphic novel following the ape's early adventures. A really delightful series. This lavishly illustrated compendium of mermaid lore from the editor-in-chief of Fairy magazine includes legends, facts, trivia, step-by-step projects and recipes, all accompanied by beautiful illustrations. It's in series with a fairy handbook. The collector's editions of the Red Queen series feature bonus content, colour interior art, hidden covers under the dust jacket, and sprayed page edges. The Six of Crows Collector's Edition is beautifully designed, with an exclusive letter from the author, 6 stunning full-colour character portraits, and red sprayed edges. The US Collector's Edition of Throne of Glass comes in a cloth slipcase with unique foil art on the case and the book cover, while the cheaper UK Collector's Edition has a different design and no slipcase. Both editions also feature new interior page designs, metallic end papers, and a map of Erelea. Surface Breaks is a reimagining of the Little Mermaid legend. The hidden cover, very appropriately, features silver scales on the blue boards. Legendary is the further adventures in the fantastical competition of Caraval. 4 different hidden covers under the first printings of the UK hardcovers. This is a story of 2 families in 2 centuries navigating the political challenges of surviving in America. I just really love the gorgeous decorated page edges on this one. This is a humorous and poignant story about the importance of friendship in a world where people are increasingly isolated. The Waterstone Special Edition is signed and features a redesigned glittery cover and patterned end papers. This is a beautifully illustrated philosophical story about a pot of whales fighting a war against the world of man. It also features a hidden cover. This year we got a gift edition of this road trip story across Japan with a cat. It features a ribbon bookmark and internal spot illustrations, although it's only glue bound. HarperCollins have released a few new hardcover editions of some classic Agatha Christie mysteries, with 4 now in this series. These pretty case-bound novels have cheap paper and are only glued in, but they feature lovely illustrated end papers and decorative chapter headings, and they're really not very expensive. Death, deception, and a detective with quite a lot to hide stalk the pages of Anthony Horowitz's fun new murder mystery. This edition has illustrated end papers. Here, Fry retells a collection of dramatic, funny, and adventurous tales of the Greek heroes. This is an epic retelling of the history of the infamous goddess from the Odyssey. It features stunning decorative covers under the dust jacket and illustrated end papers. The second book in Centipede Press's Farford and the Grey Mouser series, Swords Against Death, features work produced over a 30-year period, including 5 classic novelettes and 5 short stories. The illustrations are hand-tipped in, and it has a ribbon bookmark. They're really lovely books. The Corset's a gothic thriller about a teenage seamstress and a self-confessed murderess. It features a gilded cover and lovely peacock feather end papers. This nostalgic memoir of childhood reading will bring back fond memories for anyone who got lost in places like Narnia, Wonderland, or Kirin Island as a kid. It has cute chapter headings and will probably inspire you to dig up forgotten childhood treasures for a reread. Fox 8 is an enchanting and comic, but ultimately dark, fable of human greed and nature. It's delightfully illustrated by Chelsea Cardinal. This prequel to the Game of Thrones series has some fantastic illustrations and end papers by Doug Wheatley. The Honeybee Heart Has 5 Openings is a fascinating account of a novice beekeeper's year of keeping honeybees. Mainly I featured it just because of the really pretty cover. This is a re-release of an older novel, essentially Watership Down with foxes. Again, I'm including this one mainly because it's a good story and I just really like the cover. Bibliophile is an illustrated love letter to all things bookish. Check out my separate detailed review of this book and several companion items if you want to see more. The Writer's Map. This is a fabulous illustrated atlas of the journeys that writers make, encompassing not only the maps that actually appear in their books, but also trips that have inspired them, sketches that they use in writing. It's absolutely fascinating. Check out my literary maps review for more information about this book and several others like it. Several lovely offerings from the Harry Potter world this year. The Crimes of Grindelwald play script has lovely decorations by MinaLima and a hidden cover. Chris Riddell's version of the illustrated Beedle the Bard was my favourite, and I have a whole video in these editions if you're interested in more. The pop-up guide to Hogwarts is incredibly detailed. You'll see different things from every angle, and you can fold this one out into a huge connected map. Finally, the magnificent archive of magic is modelled after a special item from the movie, and it features removable facsimile reproductions of props and other materials from the movie, along with very special effects. It's a lovely tribute to movie-making magic. This gorgeously illustrated anthology of poems is divided into sections covering musings, youth, family, love, imaginings, nature, war, and endings. Riddle brings the poems to life with his exquisite, intricate artwork. It ranges from Lewis Carroll and William Shakespeare to Nick Cave, Leonard Cohen and Neil Gaiman, so there's a real variety of poems in here. This poetry collection is written by an award-winning poet and, like T.S. Eliot himself, a fellow former editor of Faber and Faber. It's conceived as a companion volume to Eliot's original Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. It introduces Dobson the dog detective, Flo the philosophical foxhound, and Frazzle Sprat, a dog who would really rather be a cat, as well as a host of other humorous hounds. This lavishly illustrated compendium of nature poems is named after the first line of Judith Nichols' poem Windsong. There's a poem for every day of the year. Well, if you want to follow the seasons, you have to live in the Northern Hemisphere. There's a variety of poets, mostly classical. This is a magical pop-up retelling of Tim Burton's iconic film in time to celebrate its 25th anniversary. Also, this year I found these adorable holiday storybook pamphlets that I'll be using instead of cards. You can write your message on the bookmark. Super cute for book lovers. Hey, so congrats and thanks to you for sticking around till the end. I hope you found something you liked. I think next year I'll have to do a mid-year review because I had even more books I wanted to feature, but this video was so long already. You can check out my website for the rest if you're interested. Links are in the description box if you want a particular edition. Please share your favourite books in the comments. And remember to subscribe if you're interested in seeing more beautiful books. Bye!